Well, hello, two of you watching. I guess you will know what has happened now that I'm streaming on this channel. I suppose what I should do as a matter of practice is to get the transcript of every stream I do, but obviously it's a bit tedious, I don't always remember, and I suppose I might do it if I thought that I was risking a hate speech strike. But actually I went through the stream that has now received a strike. It was the one with Vincent and Gandalf, and I went back over it and time-stamped it, and no alarm bells rang. None at all rang. So I've still got the timestamps in the description, and I mean, you know, what am I to think that the discussion of certain topics is, well, not allowed? Not just, I said something hateful, and I don't think I really didn't think that any of my guests did. They were all perfectly well behaved. They just discussed a subject in a measured way. Nobody was advocating violence. Nobody was saying you should hate these people or that people. What I can remember is that I was saying to Gandalf that people have a right to hate whoever they want to hate, because, as long as they don't incite crime and violence against any individual or group, we in fact have the right to hate whoever we want to hate, and nobody can stop us because nobody can read our minds. They might suspect us of hating them, but forbidding somebody to hate you is, counterproductive and only bound to arouse the very emotion the person forbidding is hoping is wants to stop. So it's crazy, but then this is a sign of our times. Now, of course, I have appealed. I have basically asked in 300 characters, because they don't really let you, well, I suppose if they let you say as much as you want, you will just go on and on and on about free speech and the First Amendment and whatever, until, well, they don't want to read it either. So I suppose making your point in 300 characters is enough. And really, each time it happens, I become more indifferent to it. If they're going to take off my channel, well, I'll just start another one. It's all right. But then, one of the things that they have to deal with is, what they're doing. They're actually forbidding certain topics from being discussed. And the more you stop somebody from discussing a particular topic, the more people want to discuss them. And what happens is that the repression produces neurosis, psychosis, and and that can lead to unwanted consequences, and confirmation that the Jews are behind all this and whatever. I mean, are they? Aren't they? I don't know. I sometimes feel that my it's probably from their own side. Maybe some. All the rules of natural justice are completely non-existent on YouTube, really. When they decline your appeal, they don't tell you why. They just say, nope, not going to entertain your appeal. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Go to Gab, go to BitChute. But that's not the idea. You want... if you want a platform to express your views, you want the best one. And of course they're saying, well, it's our platform. We're not gonna, you have no right to come on our platform. So I wonder why they don't just get people to pay. Get people to pay to be on YouTube. What's the problem? Come on, YouTube, just do the right thing. Do the right thing by yourselves. Charge people a nominal fee, so enough people who need it for reasons of therapy and self-therapy, let them use it, and maybe, I'm sure they could monetize it. They could they could have YouTube lawyers as I go. Well, they'll actually hear you out, and the rules of hate speech, I mean, why not? I think it'll be fun. I think it would advance. Or it could make them money for it. Well, I don't know, Korean man. You know the stream. Did you catch the one that I made with Vincent? I mean, maybe go and ask Vincent what. It's like we never, unless we just can't talk about Jews. We did talk about Jews, yeah. But, are they actually forbidding us to talk about Jews? Am I going to get a strike just for saying Jews? What are they trying to do? Is YouTube trying to incite hatred against Jews by their crazy policy of forbidding people from talking about Jews? What the hell? Is this video going to get a strike for mentioning it? We want to know. So, listen, YouTube, I'm talking to you. What do you think you're doing? Are you, by your policy, actually inciting hatred against Jews by confirming to all the anti-Semites out there that there is indeed a Jewish conspiracy designed to suppress any discussion of Jews at all? Is this what you want, YouTube? I put it to you that it is most unwise to give people the impression that Jews are in charge and control everything and can stop people from wondering if Jews really are in charge. I never said for a moment that I was actually defending them. And Vincent, as far as nobody was expressing hate speech. So, if my appeal is going to be declined, then it must be that we discussed the subject, and we're not allowed to discuss the subject. Now, what is? Yeah, but why? Why is Adam Green allowed to carry on about Jews? I didn't actually hear what he said. I didn't hear what he said about the coronavirus. No, was it the coronavirus? I don't know what he was talking about. I think he was blaming Jews for that too. So, I don't know. I can go back and listen to it. So, what? And also, they remove the evidence, so you can't say, oh, why? They remove it within, 7 days. And they never tell you, it was at this point, in minute, in the 3rd minute, in the 20th minute, or whatever of your stream, you said you made the hate speech. So, yeah, what's happening? So Korean man says, what if it's your favourite people flagging you? So you're saying maybe it's Jews flagging me. Well, we don't know, do we? I mean, for all I know, it could be some rival alt-right YouTuber thinking, yeah, she talked about Jews. The best way to get her channel removed is by maliciously reporting her channel. It could be somebody in the alt-right. We were talking about how the alt-right basically dox each other for fun. It's not even, the ADL or whatever. They, quite often they do it to each other. So we don't know. And that's why, it's unfair. Imagine a situation when somebody can just say, you're guilty of murder. And that's it. You're punished. And you can't. And if you appeal, it will just say no. Well, we're not going to entertain your appeal. And no reasons are given. No evidence is... there's no evidence. So this is what I would like YouTube to do. I mean, of course, if they're going to be liable for, any of... anything that its users do, then of course they're a platform, and I guess are deemed to be a publisher of all the objected to material. But there should be a judicial process for deciding what is hate speech and what isn't, and it must be transparent. Because it would be just ridiculous if somebody could say, you're a traitor, and you say, what? Why? How? And they say, nah, we don't need to tell you why. You're going to be burnt at the stake for your treason. And they never tell you what you did that deserved the death penalty. So, remove my channel if you like, but I know I've said nothing wrong. So this would tend to confirm that you're basically suppressing the suggestion of the topic at all. You're saying it doesn't matter whether you're for Jews or against Jews, you're not allowed to discuss Jews. So what's going on, YouTube? What's going on? Okay, you think Mike probably did it. That's quite helpful in the sense that, well, I'm not alt-right Mike. I think there's some other Mike. Anyway, they're all called Mike, aren't they? It's a very common name. There was a time in my life when every other man seemed to be called Mike. Yeah, probably did it. The point is that the people who complain, who report you, they shouldn't be anonymous. If our legal system were run on YouTube rules, we'd be totally, utterly fucked. We'd just be all in a dungeon, all burnt at the stake. But YouTube is obviously using our addiction to YouTube as a way of saying, well, we don't have to listen to your shit. We don't have to give you a reason. You'll have to like it or lump it. If you don't like us, well, go to BitChute then. Because we don't like the sound of you. We don't like your tone. So clearly it's political, if you're not allowed to discuss a topic at all, the censorship is political. It's not, you're speaking up for Jews, you're speaking, it's like you can't talk about Jews at all, whether in favour or against them. So, is there really a, do they know what they're trying to do? Don't they know that to forbid people from talking about something makes them want to do it even more? And, will they stop talking about it? They'll talk about it somewhere else, where they can't be monitored, where God knows what else they might say or be plotting. Why not have it out in the open? So it can be discussed rationally, YouTube. And you can monetize it. There's so many people who, well, they're probably prepared to pay to be on YouTube, and when they pay, they will have rights, won't they? So just monetize the whole thing. Why don't you, YouTube? I'm just giving you a great idea to make even more money for free. And just make the fuckers pay. And then you'll have terms of service. I suppose you can still kick them out, but then I think it'll incentivize others to make an alternative platform. Unless, I don't know. I guess it's expensive to make alternative platforms, so that all the other ones, but they don't look so good. They're not so functional. I don't know, but it's not going to stop me. I'm not guilty of hate speech, and neither of my guests were, unless we're just sort of walking, talking examples of hate speech. And what is hate speech anyway? We make speech that you hate, and therefore it's hate speech. Is that it? Green man, when you say Mike, are you talking about alt-right Mike? The one that was accused of doxing people? Why would he do that? Well, I thought I was on good terms with him. I don't really know. So, I think a lot of people don't understand free speech. I don't think they do. I mean, I've been talking to a few alt-right YouTubers, and they're saying, well, I don't care about the First Amendment. Fuck the First Amendment. Don't care. So, they're stupid. They're not educated. They don't get it, and they don't want to talk about it. They just want to say what they say, and they don't want to be contradicted. They don't want to be upset. And as far as they're concerned, anybody contradicting you is hate speech. They hate you, and they want to shut you up. Is that how we function these days? Well, Korean man, I haven't been. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that YouTube could be a great service, and it could actually advance they could actually improve government. They could actually arrest the fall of Western civilization if somebody at the top decided to make a stand on free speech and allow a proper process of deciding what constitutes hate speech. And so, this is what I propose, that there is an appeal process, a transparent appeal process, and when they want to flag you for hate speech, that person who reported you cannot be anonymous. Because, if it's somebody who's your rival, who actually holds exactly the same views as you, but it doesn't want your channel to get big and wants to maliciously undermine you using false accusations to vex you and retard your progress, then it should be known. So this is very simple, and if it's somebody who obviously holds diametrically opposed views to you, that should also be known. Should there be a penalty? Yes, there should. There's an Islamic principle whereby anyone who accuses chaste women of sexual immorality that would have resulted in the woman being lashed 100 times gets 80 lashes, which I think is a great Islamic principle. So whoever falsely accuses you of doing something gets the punishment, 80% of the punishment you would have received if that false and malicious accusation succeeded. What's wrong with that? So whoever accused me, well, maybe they could get a strike. Oh, Zero, you're always talking about getting death threats and whatever. Nobody cares. I don't think they care enough to threaten us. Or it would be just, a non-credible death threat. So, yeah, let them threaten us. I'm not going to stop anyway. So, I'll go somewhere else. I'll do something else. But this is what I propose, and I think it's fair enough. I mean, come on, YouTube. You can make money out of it. You can make money out of your appeals process. You can get a better reputation by saying you're now going to subject all the hate speech strikes to a transparent process of appeal. And then you can get all these. Well, I think the legal profession is an overcrowded one. If you want to hire a lawyer to to adjudicate on these things, to argue the toss about what is hate speech, then you really could do a lot of good. And then you can reverse this craziness of insane censorship that is really frightening and upsetting so many people. So YouTube could be a force for good. It was once regarded as a force for good. I don't know why you're doing this. Is it because you're scared? Well, even if you're scared, you really need to accept what is true and what is a sound argument, rather than, neurotic suppression of the discussion of topics that people are really engaged with and want to talk about. And if you want to protect Jews, you should actually allow the discussion of them, because the more you shut them, you shut people up who want to talk about it, the more you will convince the antisemites that there is indeed a Jewish conspiracy. And I think some legal action could, some kind of legal action could be initiated on the question of YouTube itself inciting hatred against Jews. And, even Jews can incite hatred against Jews by saying certain things about Jews. David and his Jews gonna Jew thing. He said it. He coined the phrase. Is it gonna be helpful to Jews, for him to have coined that phrase? I think David quite often incites hatred against Jews. Does he get away with it because he's a Jew? And also, back to my register of Jews. I'm not going to shut up about it. I mean, that is the problem. The whole thing about, anybody calling himself a Jew and saying all kinds of things that would incite hatred against Jews. They should be struck off the register. This is what I'd do if I were Jewish. Letting all these crazy marginalized Jews say whatever they want to say and discredit their community. I mean, that is a problem, isn't it? So really, I was offering helpful advice, and obviously the way Jews organise themselves, it needs to be radically re-examined. And these are the things I want to discuss on YouTube. Not allowed? Well then, YouTube, you are inciting hatred against Jews. Is there a single person in the US able to make something of this in a legal action? Maybe there are Jews who are actually concerned about the way left-wing Jews are behaving that will ultimately incite pogrom levels of violence because of the way the crazy way they're behaving. I know that not all Jews are left-wing. I do know that. But I think a lot of anti-Semites don't. And when you hate somebody, you're not going to say, oh, well, perhaps you're not to blame for this bit or that bit. Because one of the points I'm trying to make is that there are plenty of liberal Jews, but there are also plenty of liberal Gentiles. Because liberalism is the current culture. It's mainstream, so you would expect there to be more liberals than that there would be social conservatives. We live in a matriarchy, and therefore, people go with the flow. Most people are sheeple. including Jews. So I to sum up, before I go, the YouTube hate speech rules need to be radically revised. 2, YouTube can monetize the appeal process if they want, and even award. They could do a point system, I think, so you can, instead of getting likes, I mean, I don't know, you get points and then you lose points for bad behaviour, obviously, but the person who accuses you of bad behaviour, that would make you lose points. They lose points too if they were subsequently found to have made a false and malicious accusation. And then the appeal process should be transparent. YouTube could do that, couldn't they? I want, has anybody in YouTube thought of doing this? They could monetize this appeals process. So I'll retitle this in a kind of way that would attract more attention, and we'll see. But I think it might be some sort of concerted policy to suppress me, like, she's got one strike and then we just give her another strike and then we'll get a channel removed, whatever. So I don't know quite who is doing it. So I won't go around, believing that it's whoever or whatever, because I know you guys have, scores to settle, and you could just say somebody did it when in fact they didn't. And if they delete the channel, well, I guess they delete the channel. I'll start a new one. Unless they're going to say, oh, but Claire Core, you can't go on social media. It is part of your punishment for being Claire Core. You never know. So that's all I'm going to say. And, just over half an hour. Thank you for listening. Let other people know that I've got a strike again. And I'll